All right. Welcome back, my regular viewers, listeners, and watchers. And of course, if you happen to be here for the very first time, welcome. Before I go any further, my name is Rahul George, India's premier self hypnosis coach and your personal guide. So, what we've got in store today in our pod is something, especially if you are a digital coach and you've been watching, you've been consuming this content that I've been now creating for quite a while. Um, Whether, of course, you happen to be watching this or listening to this as a pod on YouTube, or because on YouTube I have a YouTube podcast channel, or if you happen to be watching this live, or if you happen to be listening to this later as a recording on my profile or my group, which is called the Self Hypnosis Mastermind. Notice there are many channels wherever you've found this content. Just keep in mind that today, especially as digital coaches, the work that we're doing is no longer about, only working with people one on one, because you'll know this. Again, the reason why we're talking about being a digital coach is that today we are in a really blessed position or situation where we can reach out, our message can reach out to many, and therefore we can also create a much deeper, a much wider impact in the lives of many people that are out there, right? If you've been on this journey for a while, you know that back in the day, if you ever wanted to do a workshop, you would print posters, you would create posters, depending on how far back, way back is. You would either use Photoshop or Canva, of course, happened over the last couple of years. But if you've been in that position where you would maybe go to a digital studio and get your poster made, then get copies of it, and then go about town putting it up in different places so that people could find you. Today we are in a place where literally, like what I'm doing right now, I'm recording this, and that this message gets to go out live, and then later it gets to go as a recording or a video that can be consumed in video form or audio form. So notice there's a lot of shift, there's a lot of abundance that has happened in and over the course of these last several years. So if this has been your journey as well, like I can share with you part of my journey is where, based in Bangalore, literally I would go to my brother-in-law's studio, get my posters made, and then I would go to different parts of the city, sort of like the CBD, the business district, and put my posters up outside, cafes, like Koshi's was one. There are several places on Brigade Road, for instance, right? So the point I'm making is that back in the day, that was all that we knew as a way to be able to build our communities, right? Maybe you put a press insert in your local newspaper. I'm talking a good 10, 15 years ago. Uh, Having said that, of course, if you've been a digital coach for maybe the last 3 to 5 years, things have been a little different. Obviously, one is post-COVID. There's been a lot of focus on webinars, on attending webinars and learning about how you can find your message, how you can be able to broadcast it to many people at the same time. Whether you do recorded, let me put it this way: whether you do organic marketing, or whether you actually invest in Facebook ads, um, amongst many other platforms. So these are, of course, there's been this change, this advent of technology. But more importantly, if you notice in all of this, the missing piece for a very long time has been community. Now, I've been very blessed, even in my previous avatar, when I used to do theater-based workshops. I used to run a theater company, a theater group with my wife. And for many, many years, we would do that. And there are a lot of people who, would attend these workshops. We used to do it in Common Park, in the park, literally. We had the broken bench where we would do our theater workshops, we would do our theater plays, the rehearsals, script writing, having endless cups of chai that would come in the in Kaban Park. Um, so, that was one community that we built, and these are people that we've known, about 10 or 15 of them that kept coming back, and it sort of built this bond. And today, even a good 15 years later, one, of course, we do have a group, but more importantly, there were certain connections that were made way back and that have continued to reap in their lives even today, right? Though we aren't doing theater workshops at this point, but it's that connection, it's what was experienced that has built and definitely left an impression in their lives as it has left in our lives and my life in particular. So today, of course, in the work that I do work with digital coaches. I help them focus on the 5 streams of life. These 5 streams are health, wealth, relationships, spirituality, as well as purpose or life's purpose, right? And what I have found is that my um, superpower, if you want to call it that, is hypnosis and, of course, hypnotherapy. And as a way to extend this and to really be able to make an impact in the lives of many, I've been able to tap into the power of self hypnosis, and this is something that I teach. So my intention is for more and more people to learn this, so that they can start to practice this in their own lives as digital coaches. And for the ones that feel that they want to be able to you know build a community, and in that community help more people experience the power of self hypnosis, that is the intention. So at this stage, I've literally, like, at the time of this recording, I've already launched the next level of learning self hypnosis through longer, deeper processes, um, obviously on Zoom, as in online, and eventually there will be retreats that will happen offline as well, right? In beautiful places, both within the country and outside. Right? So that's where this is starting to shape. Now, the reason why I felt inspired today to record this pod is it just gave me a moment to reflect on how do you build community, and who really becomes part of your community, and where they really connect with you, right? So that's the first part, right? That if you have a community today, maybe you're at a point where you're doing one-to-one work, meaning you're working with people one at a time. We've all been there, we've all started there, but you'll notice sooner or later you're in a position where you can reach out to many more people at the same time. You can teach many more people. You can affect, meaning help many more people at the same time have an experience in their own lives, which they can then carry back into their own communities, which is literally like creating an expansion, right? So today I'm at that point where, of course, I've been testing out this model now for a good about 7 months since the launch of what we do now. Of course, as you know, I've been on this journey now for um, 21 years. And now it's at this point in this avatar where the intention is to reach out to more people, to be able to hold that space for them. Uh, of course, we do it digitally, but now over a period of time, we're going to be able to blend it, which means there'll be some sessions that happen live in person as a retreat, for example, and some sessions that happen uh, on Zoom, like how you're consuming this pod right now, right? So in all of this, I can definitely tell you that focus on people that are truly connecting with you, because that's something that I do. It's not about, it's like in the digital world, I'm sure you've come across this concept of, the list, like what's your list? How big is your list? How do you engage with your list? I'm saying go even deeper than that and focus on engaging with the people who are engaging with you, right? And truly, make not even an attempt, but really focus on becoming clearer about what is it that they want, right? Because the more you're able to build that investment of time and of attention is what will grow the community. Because the more I've noticed that I'm being present to my members, people who genuinely want to take action, they want to be able to learn actively, that is what builds the community, right? Because sometimes what can happen, and this is a very common thing, I'm sure you've come across it even in your journey, um, learning the tools and the technology, and of course being, with other mentors, being mentored to be able to apply these principles, of digital marketing, for example, or sales psychology for that matter. What you'll notice is that when you are able to be more present, you're able to connect more with people who connect with your vibe, who genuinely are applying what you are teaching them. This is what will create a even bigger community of active members. Like, if you go by pure math, there will typically be a percentage. I don't even want to go into what is that percentage, because everybody has their own theory on this. For me, the way I look at it is, the more I focus on people who are drawn in to learn at this point from and in this space that I'm creating, that is what I'm meant to do, right? So now at this point, there are more people who are joining in, who are wanting to actually learn live. So from my question to you is, in the work that you do, right, who do you want to serve? Who do you want to actually work with and help them, right? um, Even when you read the content here, basically we talk about three things, right? One is active listening, which means if you're actually making it a point to listen to what your members want, they will help you decide what uh, content to create, what specifically to teach them, so that they can go out and apply it not only in their lives but in the lives of their communities. Because at the end of the day, it's like, we're all integrated communities, right? Meaning we are part of one community, and in turn we are, as digital coaches, we are building out our own communities. So that's something to keep in mind. Um, and you know at the end of the day, the more we are able to feel the energy and create those environments where people are able to feel each other's energy. Like today I had done an exercise, simple one at that, in the existing members, or with the existing members of, it's like a base level membership, and now we're going deeper, which is the immersion membership. But in the base level membership, today we did one exercise which is about people getting to know each other, right? People getting to be able to share of themselves with the other members. And this is one of the ways in which people can actually realize that we are all, it's like they say, we're all cut from the same cloth, meaning we're all connected. And if we are together in this community, it's like, if you are listening to this right now, it's because you're meant to listen to this. Now, you may already be a member of my community, or you may be in that process of either joining, or this becomes a stepping stone for you to find your community, especially as a digital coach. And I can say this because over the course of these last 21 years, a lot of those years have been spent in isolation, meaning that one, technology was such that it wasn't as easy, and somehow it just didn't fit, didn't feel right. But now, more than ever before, for me also, I've recognized that having community, being community, building community, that is what takes this message forward. So, with that, I'm going to pause now, and just remind you that if you are somebody who is truly wanting to make that difference in your life, and as a digital coach, you find that somehow you are blocked, you're not able to build your community, or you kind of, basically, you get in the way of your own self to be able to build a community, um, and therefore also to be able to create programs, create value, right? It starts with you, right? As that Linkin Park song goes, right? It starts with me. So if you're in that state right now where you're like, okay, I've already spent time, I've already spent money on buying tools and learning technology and having mentors, but somehow it's not showing up in my bank account, this is that moment where, if you were to give yourself that permission to be able to really focus on building positive beliefs, positive self beliefs. And if you are open to the idea, or maybe even curious to the idea of, okay, how can self hypnosis help me? Then you're in the right place, right? Meaning that's why you're meant to be listening to this right now. And what I've done is on Sundays, in fact, this Sunday at 11 a.m., I'm doing a session. If you see this video before Sunday, or if you see this video and you're in the middle of the week, there is a Sunday that's coming up. Sunday, 11 a.m. is when I do the session. And all you need to do is just reach out and ask for the link. And there are a couple of questions you get to fill out so that I get to know you better. And then, of course, in that session, and the workshop is called Mera Number Kab Aayega. It's a 60-minute session, it's a 1 hour session in which you will get to understand, okay, why is this workshop called Mera Number Kab Aayega? But more importantly, you get to experience self hypnosis live. And when you do that, you will know if this is meant for you, if you are meant to continue on this journey. And if you are, there's a very simple process in which you can continue on. This workshop is priced at just under 1,300 bucks, and it includes all the taxes and tariffs or whatever it is. Um, and this is a way for you to test for yourself, like, do you want to really learn this? Do you want to really go deeper, right? And if you do, then obviously I'm here to support you on this journey. And in the meantime, of course, if you have any questions, please do message me directly. Or of course, if you genuinely need help, just message me, and I'll do what I can to be able to help you on this journey as a digital coach. So with that, I'm going to pause for today. Of course, as you know, if you're a regular watcher already, you know that I record these every day, and I've been sharing this on Facebook, and of course you also get to consume this on YouTube as a podcast. So looking forward to seeing you in the next one, and as always, remember to live with purpose. Take care.